Hello, and welcome to Abby Tyler's Healthy Living. My name is Abby Tyler. I'm your host, a family nurse practitioner, a health and wellness blogger, and a community volunteer. In here, we discuss evidence based health information regarding mind, body, and soul with a holistic emphasis. Thanks for joining me on this journey of health and wellness. Please enjoy the show. Hello, hello, ATH Allahs. Welcome to our weekly show. My name is Abby. I'm your Healthy Living NP. How are you guys doing? Please share the show. Please give me a thumbs up. As you can see, the topic today is trust the process. Okay, it's not going to be a long show. And just give me a second here and I'll be right with you guys. Okay. 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 If you're watching me from YouTube and Focus in Liberia, I say hello, hello, hello. As always, my disclaimer, I am a provider, but I'm not your provider. So please do not make any changes to your regimen without checking with your own provider. Okay, so let me get to my advantage here. Okay, okay. Alrighty. So share the show, share the show. This is just like a motivational talk. I've been trying to get more motivational stuff in recently. And share the show. So trust the process is a phrase that was coined by the General 76's general manager Sam Hickey, former to Philly fans, saying things might look bad right now, but we have a plan in place to make it better. So things might be looking a little, sketchy in your life right now. You're going through some hardship, or you starting something new, or you're thinking of starting something new, and you're like, okay, sometimes this is may not look right, but I'm going to trust the process. Everybody says that trust the process, trust the process. So how do you trust the process? So I'm just going to go over a couple of different things you can do while you're trusting the process, while you're sitting there and thinking, okay, so let's see here. First one is, let me see this first. Okay. Focus on the value you're adding. Okay. So what does that mean? So you're in there now, you're in the middle, let's say you're starting off and you're saying, okay, I'm doing this. Let's say I'm in the project with somebody else, or I'm doing something to my house, I'm doing something at my school, doing something at my job. And I'm looking at this and I'm starting off, but I don't see anything I'm doing so far. I don't see myself benefiting from anything yet. My glasses are like reflecting in there. So it's important. So it's important to do is like focus on the value you're adding. You are adding something, even if it's like, okay, yeah, I'm bringing the coffee, or I'm the one picking people up from the airport. I'm the one that's, the person who's doing the main part of the project and all that. But you don't see what you're doing there, and you don't think that's, you're making a difference. Focus on the value you're adding. You're adding, value to everything that you're doing there. Okay, so just take your time, breathe, and be like, okay, I'm going in today. I don't even know why I'm there, or something else may be going on. Just focus on that, even at minuscule as possible. Just go ahead and just focus on the value you're adding at this time. Okay. And the next one, only worry about the things that you can control. I know that can be very hard, doing stuff where you're like, oh my God, I wish this could be happening. I wish this, just breathe and just focus on everything you control. Yes, you want for everybody to show up at 9 o'clock when you're supposed to be starting this, or you're hoping that whatever's supposed to be delivered at a certain time should be delivered and all. You can only do what you can do. Okay. Just concentrate on the part you can do, because if you worry about everybody else's what they're supposed to be doing, yes, especially if you're like the project manager, or you're doing something at your home, again, like your job or something, and you're like, okay, everybody needs to be there. Everybody needs to be there. Everybody needs to be there. I'm worrying about this. Is this going to happen? You're having sleepless nights and all that. Just worry about the part you can control. And just remember, everything's going to fall in place little by little, okay? Don't overdo it. Don't overthink it. Don't worry yourself too much. Easier said than done. I'm one of those people who worry about, oh my God, this person was supposed to be here. Especially let's say with like your wedding, with wedding organizers back in the day, where you worry about the DJ, you worry about the bridesmaids, you worry about this and all of that, event planners, all those people who everything's riding on you. So just focus on what you can control. Of course, sometimes everything's under your control, but you can't control everything. Okay. So just say, you know what, they were supposed to be at 9 o'clock. I'm just going to tell them be there 7:30. So I hopefully they'll be there at 9 o'clock, so that way at least you can work around it. All right. Alrighty. So the next one is have faith in the unknown. It's like, okay. And it's not so much like religious faith or, sometimes it can be spiritual faith or just faith, regular faith, whichever way you choose. If it's religious for you, that's fine. All right. So just say, I don't know what it's gonna go. I can't see past the staircase. You know how to say just keep on climbing, even if you don't know how, if there's anything at the top. So just breathe and say, you know what, I am doing this. I'm gonna be studying hard. I'm gonna be moving this. I'm gonna be doing that. I'm going to a new city. I'm starting a new life. I'm doing this and all. And I don't know how it's going to end, but I'm having faith that it's all going to work out. I'm having faith that it's going to work out. And not every day you're going to be like, oh, yes, I'm strong believer. I can, this is going to work out. This is going to work out. Because sometimes it may not work out the way you want it to work out, but just have faith. Just continue to just believing, like, you know what? I'm just going to have faith that this is going to work out. All right. The next one is use what you learned during each step of the process. Okay, say, okay, what have I learned today? Okay, I've learned that, okay, I can do this. I've learned that I can control going back again. I can control everything. I've learned that I need to relax and just have faith in what's going to happen later on. All right. And also, like, if you, as you learn it, because some days I used to be like that when we used to be at work, and it'd be like, I used to say, you know what, I don't want to look back. I don't want to look back on this day and laugh. You know how people say, oh, you're going to look back on this day and laugh, and you're going to see that oh, everything was just the way it's supposed to be. Like, I don't want to know that. I just want things to work out the way it's supposed to work out. Can this just work out for me today? I don't need to be like, oh yeah, this is it's gonna be a testimony. Someday this test is gonna be a testimony. No, I wanted to just work out. And it doesn't always work out that way. So just say there. Patience sometimes is, oh, you know what? Going through this, I learned patience. I learned that there's certain things that I cannot do. There's certain things that I have no control over. Just, patience. And sometimes it's like, okay, even when I used to be a preceptor, when you nurses and all that, it's like and I used to be like really like, okay, let's do this. I never really, the kind of preceptors like this really were over my students, well, my nursing nurses like that. But it's like, okay, certain ones, learn differently, and they came from different schools and all that too. So you had to know what to and how to handle some of them, because some of them, depending on the schools they went to, it was like really difficult. It's like you're starting teaching them all over, and some of them were like really far advanced. So I learned that, okay, everybody has a different learning style and all that. So just be patient, and also depending on the school they went to, be patient and just say, okay, you know what, this one doesn't know that much and all. Let me just review this. All right. So it's very important. Approach everybody differently. Okay. Now it's different from an NP preceptor. NP preceptors, I just wanted to clarify that person's still in school, and the preceptor is like teaching them the clinical part. Nurse preceptor is like you're teaching somebody who's already graduated, and you're teaching them the facility rules and regulations and kind of branching them into the system. Okay. So use what you learn because every student I had, or every nurse that I had, whether they were new nurses or returning nurses or coming from a different part of nursing and all, I learned something different. So and I miss my other new nurses, the younger ones that we used to work with. I used to call them the babies. I miss them because after a while with like the senior nurses, so you're getting older with all the nurses like much younger already. I'm dating myself. Anyways, the next one is practice gratitude. And, so it's like, and just say, you know what? I'm not there yet, but I'm thankful for where I've gotten so far. Okay. I'm not where I used to be. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm not where I used to be. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for what I've learned so far. I'm thankful for what obtained so far. I'm thankful for the things I've been able to give to people so far in this process. And I'm trusting that eventually things will work out. So be thankful every day. Get up in the morning, say, I'm not there yet, but I'm trusting it's going to happen, and I'm thankful for where I've gotten so far. Okay. Practice gratitude. And what's Dr. Reverend Martin to say? Attitude of gratitude. So practice that. Okay. Be thankful. It's kind of hard to be thankful sometimes when things are just going absolutely wrong. I'm not sitting here and trying to sugarcoat anything. I'm just trying to say, just practice a little bit of gratitude. Like, yeah, I'm going to find the goodness in something. All right. Okay. And the next one is visualize success. And be like, yes, you know how when you're in school or again going to work or doing something where you sit there, you be like, oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Ooh, got my graduation picture on the wall. And, like I'm going to get my cap and gown or I'm going to get my, make sure when I get in my office or when I get wherever it is I'm going to be working, I can decorate my locker. I'm going to decorate my office. I'm going to decorate my cubby, wherever it is you're doing, or if you're working, if you're working, let's say you're a driver or whatever it is, whatever, this is what I'm going to do when I finally get this. So, or when I finally get this job, or when I finally get this company going, when I finally get this business going, I can just see it now. So, stop visualizing that, because when you're visualizing success and all that, that kind of encourages you to like want to keep on going. Okay. You should just continue just doing that. What I used to do when I was when I was going to NP school and I got into like half of NP school during COVID, or the class of COVID. I had everything on the wall, and every day, after every rotation, like we used to have like 8 weeks rotation. After every rotation, I just went in, meaning that each course was like an 8 week period, and I just used to cross it off, check it off. Okay, just had it on my wall. So every day, I'm like, okay, ooh, graduation, graduation. I thought about it. I'm like, oh, for graduation, I get weighed, and I'm gonna have this like, like nice in my nice gown, got my face made up and everything. Never had a ceremony because again, it was class of COVID, but just visualize success as you go along. Okay. So if you're just joining me, we're talking about trusting the process, and these are some of the ways to trust the process. So let me just see if there's any. I see a comment here before I go in there. I do not. Okay. Did I see that? No, it's not showing here. Okay. Alrighty. So the next one is a visualize success. So again, if you're just joining me, trusting the process is focus on the value you're adding. Only worry about the things that you can control. Have faith in the unknown. Use what you've learned during each step of the process. Practice gratitude. Visualize success. Okay. And so let me go down here. I'm almost done, and ignore the naysayers. All right, there will be a lot of people there. Some of them will be your friends too, and they'll be telling you, "Oh, you can't do that. Oh, you're a little too old to be doing that. Or maybe this is not something that people in your demographic can do all the time, or do something else." Now, you have to be able to differentiate the ones who are really saying these things to you, so they can steer you to the right direction, encouraging you, as opposed to those who just want to, like don't want to see you succeed. All right. So, people in your life who are good with you, because sometimes you'd be like, oh my God, I thought this person was my friend, and they're going to be really encouraging, and they're telling me all these things. And at the same time, somebody else who you didn't even know that were going to be encouraging you will be encouraging you. So, but again, you have to have all your ducks in a row basically, and be really stern about your success and all that, and know what you go in, discern from those who are just saying things or those who will be encouraging and all. So don't, when somebody say, maybe I won't do it that way, maybe I won't do it that way. Listen keenly, but at the end of the day, make that decision yourself. And sometimes you can usually tell if somebody's being really honest too, and telling you, maybe I might do it this way, maybe I might go this way, and all. Listen to them. It's not, people not out there just trying to do you wrong. And have a close circle of friends, especially when it comes to things where you're doing something that's going to be major, or you're making like a major change in your life. Have a strong small circle of friends that you trust. All right, don't be telling people everything. Don't be posting everything all over Facebook, and wait, how they tell you, don't tell everybody the journey. Get to the destination, do you everything you have to do, then you can post it on Facebook or social media. Some people, sometimes they like to post it because it's like they like the encouragement. There's nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, have a small circle of friends that you give your deepest information to. All right. So, and the last one is the hard one, is embrace failure. So again, like I said, it's not going to be a rose and creams and all that. Okay. Peaches and cream. I said rose and creams. So embrace failure. All right. But that doesn't mean that, okay, yeah, I'm going to be like, oh my God, I failed. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, 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 no. Because when you think about all the people who were great people before, and legendary people in the past, notice how like most of them went through a lot of stuff. It ain't just, there were some people who like they did it the first time and it just, when they went through the business and everything worked out fine. But there are a lot of people who, and some people won't tell you their journey either. You just see the end process and say, oh my goodness, oh wow, I can't believe that. But there are a lot of us, me included, who went through There were times where it's like, okay, this is it. This is it. If I one more time, so you sit there and things may not go that way. You may have to repeat a course, you may have to repeat a test, you may have to repeat the boards or the bar or whatever your certification and that you have to take in your field. You may have to like take another course over again. Like I said, you may have to move around, change location, go to a different job until you finally get to where it is that you have to go. So not failure per se, but like a little detour. Look at it as a detour. Say, I had to do all this and everything to get to where I am now. Was that song "God Bless the Broken Road" that led me straight to you? It's a romantic song, but same process. Okay, so there'll be times where again, some people who are just blessed, and it goes from step 1 to step 10, and oh, look at that. And there's some people there, a lot of they say the road to success. It goes like that. So don't be hard on yourself. It's something you have a little detour along the way. Just say, okay, breathe. And of course, sometimes you put a lot of money into it too. It's not fair. Sometimes it's like it's not fair. How come everybody else is like getting by and you're not? So don't worry about it. Just smile through it. Get up in the morning, recalibrate. And if it's something that you really want, trust the process. Trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. And I hope someday one of you would come back and be like, guess what, Abby? You said trust the process and I didn't. You don't necessarily have to tell me. You can tell somebody else, let what I say be a testimony to somebody else and let your test be a testimony to somebody else. Okay. I'm all about encouraging people getting from one point to the other these days. I still talk about, different illnesses and all that, but every once in a while I like to bring some motivational stuff in there. Okay. So that is pretty much it. Trust the process and what you have to go through to trust that process, right? So let me go back here. 1 second. Okay. Alrighty. So I don't see. For some reason I cannot get that comment to come through. So I'm just going to leave that there. Probably, if you have any questions and comments, leave that below, and I will answer that during the week. And also, please give me a like. Please give me a thumbs. Please share the show. Share the show. Share the show. And I usually answer questions all during the week too. So if you have any questions, they're pretty there. And I'm still working on different shows to bring to you guys for April and May. But you know, I'm busy working to myself. So, but thank you all for watching and join me in every week for our show, Tuesday show. And then also Abby's Daily Does during the week. If you're watching me from Focus in Liberia on YouTube, hello, good night. Good night to all of you. Please give me a like. Please share the show. Give me a like, give me a like, give me a like. Again, when you do a like, that also puts it in the algorithm because sometimes Facebook doesn't really promote the show that much. So please help me out, okay? Thank you all. I truly appreciate your love and support. Bye-bye now.